Most of the specialists classify Larsen as a player with an original strategic style, an original strategist, they used to call him. And Larsen himself advocated the idea that he was a positional player. I have studied a lot of his games. I even wrote a book about him. None of the examples are in these videos to keep the original character of the material. But I would say that Larsen was mainly an attacking player and tactician who played very interesting positional chess too. But you know, it's a matter of style of etiquette. Larsen enjoyed being considered a positional player, knowing that he was actually more of a tactician. If he was a genuine positional player, he would have liked to be called an attacking player, quite possibly. But I would say that he was rather universal. And because he could be an original strategist, but also a classical strategist. I don't know exactly how he chose his style for each game, for each tournament. Maybe it greatly depended on his mood. I cannot be sure of that, but I saw that he played in so many different styles. For instance, he was a hyper-modern player. He used many, with both colors. He used many openings where he just didn't want to take space. He played in positions with very, very little space. But he was always seeking for counterplay. He was like a hunter waiting for the right moment to launch his counterplay. When staying on his back 2 ranks or 3 ranks, he would always look forward to advance on some of the wings. Because he was also an incurable optimist. Sometimes this helped him, sometimes not. But in general, it's better to be like this. He produced many beautiful games. But he didn't play only hypermodern openings and hypermodern games. No, there are games where he started with d4 or c4 followed by d4. Very classical space and development, all the things you read about in books. So who is the true Larsen? Nobody knows. I think that he himself didn't exactly know who he was. He just played the way, he probably played the way he felt to be the best at that right moment. Maybe depending on the style of the opponent, or just as I said, depending on his mood. And actually he played not only different types of openings, but also many different openings. So this adds a bit to his universality. We can also notice in his games that some of them start as extremely hyper-modern games with no space at all. But then in the early middle game something changes. Something he had done well in the initial phase allowed him to gain space, to eliminate the opponent's space advantage. Sometimes he starts the game in a classical way and then he chooses a very exotic plan. It could also happen. So his style could vary during the game too. I assume it's not easy to play against such a player. When you sit to play against him, you don't know which kind of player he is. After the first moves, you can still not be sure about it. And in order to illustrate several aspects of his positional play, I have made some gradation, let's say. I have started with extremely hyper-modern games, and then little by little get closer to classical chess, and finish with a purely classical, purely positional chess. No combinations, nothing. Just a pure positional squeeze in the best classical style. I believe there is much to learn from Larsen. I said you should not neglect his attacking abilities and his combinations, his calculating powers. He could be very accurate. In a good day, he could be very accurate. See everything and go for it, or at least feel intuitively what happens. But okay, our subject is only strategy. And I repeat, he was the kind of player who was able to do anything he wanted.